Hey everybody, Garrett here with eHOA. I appreciate you jumping on to watch a quick review of our eHOA software demo. You can see here I'm on our eHOA website, and feel free to spend some time here as well. You can go over to easyhoa.com and check out a little review of our history. Of course, some of the key features that we focus on here at eHOA. I did want to mention that one of our biggest focuses is on providing not only an amazing tool for you to use within the software, but also we feel that our support team is second to none. Feel free to lean on our support team as you utilize us for our services and consider us your teammate. We often feel that small, medium sized associations feel sometimes lost or left on an island. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can, of course, email at any time, but we prefer that you just give us a call and we're happy to jump on and walk you through anything that you guys need as you're utilizing our software. Secondly, let's go ahead and jump over to our eHOA demo site. I wanted to go ahead and show you this here. As you probably have already been here or seen this at some point, this is obviously just our generic demo site. I'm going to walk you through a couple key things here in a second, but you have an owner login, of course, the board or admin login, and then some basic things here. You can have your list of board members, obviously a contact us tab. You may share your documents publicly if you decide to wish to do so. Many associations, when they upload those within the board login, will simply share and create the access only for owner login behind the portal. You can decide where and how you share those documents. Some documents may be publicly shared and others behind the portal. Definitely up to you. The software also has on the website the ability to post any upcoming news and events. We find it very convenient to obviously have annual meetings, board meetings, for example, that are scheduled and upcoming. Announcements for maintenance is huge. So things like that. I did want to point out before I go ahead and log in here as an owner, I wanted to share an example of one of our current customers and what they're utilizing our software for their specific association there in Vail, Colorado, and what they have done to their website. You can see they've uploaded some photos of their community and, of course, their buildings there, basics about their community, parking, how to get there, parking restrictions. So some things like that. So we've always felt that having a website for your association isn't necessarily for marketing of your property, but more informational for the owners and then maybe potential buyers as well. Board members, of course, and like I say, all the different things. I believe that they actually currently are using this tab here for upcoming virtual board meetings. It looks like they have, of course, some announcements, like I say. So that's a live example of what they're doing. Well, let's go ahead and do this. I wanted to jump back over here. We're going to now log in as an owner and show you what that looks like briefly from that point of view. So when you log in as an owner, you can obviously see your personal information. So if I'm Don Little and I live inside the association, obviously I've got basic information about my specific unit, my billing history, for example. I can upload a photo of my own personal unit, or even the board can do that. I can make a payment. I can see if I've overpaid and I have a credit if I wanted to pay for the whole year for my dues, if I have anything outstanding. So very convenient to see a full billing history. Other things I can do is I can update my payment settings. If I wish to just simply have my payment withdrawn automatically, I can go ahead and save my ACH information or e-check along with credit card, debit card. We offer obviously an integrated merchant account for you to process and track dues. This is where I would view my documents, of course, if I was going to be looking for documents that aren't shared on the public facing website. We do have a directory owner to owner. So if you wish your information to be shared, you can decide to do so. You don't have to necessarily share everything. This is a really nifty feature where you can actually go in and decide if you want to turn off specifics. I may not mind if my name and address is shared, but might not want my email or my phone number shared. So that's something that you can decide to do accordingly individually as an owner. News and events we talked about, but if you have any news and events you'd like to view, you can also use this tool to put in requests, whether that's maintenance, architectural requests, maybe even a request to schedule common ground, like a pool house or a clubhouse. Surveys and voting is something that's really nifty, especially since COVID, where a lot of boards and a lot of communities do not meet in person anymore. If you need to put out a vote to the whole community to see about replacing a now moving board member that's moving from the community and you need to replace them, you can use our software to do that. And then, of course, violations. We'll talk about this more on the board side, but if I have an assigned violation to myself, I would have already received a text message and an email letting me know I was in violation of something, but you can also see if you've got a violation assigned to yourself here. In this case, if I'm Don Little and I would have left my garbage cans out on the street, I can view that here, and obviously I need to get that taken care of so I don't get an ongoing fine or a late fee. So really convenient way for an owner to log in and be in the know about what they're doing there at the community and communicate with the board. Obviously, you're going to have the board contact information as well, which we'll discuss here briefly. We have a provided dedicated phone number for unlimited phone calls and text messages, as well an email address that we provide. So that's what it looks like from an owner's point of view. Let's go back here now and let's go ahead and log on as a board member and show you what that looks like here. So you can see now when you log in as a board member, you're going to be able to view much more than what each individual owner can, because you're looking at the community as a whole when you're a board member. First things first, you have the dashboard that shows past dues, violations, obviously any new requests that have come in, you'll be notified, text messages, emails, voicemails, and then those open surveys and votes that you have out currently. I wanted to point out quickly, if you want to, as a treasurer often, you're always looking to see who is up to date on the dues. So we have a report that's very convenient that you can pull up that will show you anybody that's past due. You can see here it has not only the unit, but obviously the name of the owner, what their current balance is, and how many days behind they are. So a very convenient way to be able to track specifically who is and who hasn't paid. It is convenient that the majority of the owners will probably opt in. Now, we don't force you to do this, but we do have an integrated merchant account where you can process those payments, like I said, electronically via text, or excuse me, via ACH, obviously credit card, debit card, and e-check. A lot of people will name the ACH, but it's very convenient that the owners can do that. You will still have some possibly that may want to make a payment by check, and that's fine. If they go ahead and hand that to a treasurer, you can go ahead and record that payment by making a payment here. Simply proceed to the payment summary. Make sure the invoice matches the payment that they're going to be making. And then you can go ahead and pull up that payment method here, and you can even record the check number. You can put notes if you wish, and then you click pay now, and that would record that payment. Obviously deposit that check into your bank account, and now that owner would no longer be on the late report. So really convenient as far as processing those. Again, we provide tools in order to help you with the day-to-day management, whatever your guys' needs are and however you guys manage things. We feel like we provide those for you. Really convenient as far as those tools, whether it's automated or a little bit manual, depending on how you guys like to manage. Violations, I pointed out earlier, it's very convenient to be able to track the violations within the software itself. Being able to track any open violations, ones that have been closed even for reference in the past, if you want to look back to see if someone has repeatedly parked incorrectly and you've warned them several times, you do have a history. So that way you do not have a he said, she said moment where you can simply pull up any of the reports and some history there. It's really convenient as well. Our software is mobile friendly, so you can do this on your phone or on your tablet when you're out in the community. You can simply name a violation, describe what you want it to be, excuse me, assign it to a specific unit, obviously put in a fee amount if there is one. I will say at my association, we do put in a lot of warnings where we don't immediately assign a violation for someone parking incorrectly. So we might have a warning, which is totally fine. We go ahead and assign it to that unit, as I mentioned. And it is convenient that you can go ahead and decide what the fee amount is. In this case, if it's a warning, we might leave it at 0, but you need to have them completed and have it done by X date before they actually do in turn get a fee or a violation that they need to take care of and pay. It is convenient as well, as I mentioned, that you can go ahead and add a file. In this case, if you're out in the community and you have your phone on you, you can take a photo of what they're in violation of, upload that, and then you can have this send notifications with the violations, not only an email, but also a text message. And when you create that, The owner gets notified immediately by text and email. And then, as I showed you earlier, they would be notified as well in their own online portal when they log in. So, a really convenient way to stay on top of warnings or violations, just to make sure everyone within the community is living the bylaws. As I stated, my association where I serve, I'm the VP on our board. We are very, it's a warm community for the most part. Everybody knows each other very well. So we try to avoid having anyone pay violations. We just want to make sure we keep things nice. And so we use that tool as a warning. The requests I mentioned earlier, if you see any new requests come in, it's very convenient. You can create a new request as well as a board member, because there's a time and a place where someone might just say, hey, I would like to build a new deck, and rather than going through their portal, they might just let you know what the parameters of that project is, and you might want to go create that so you can track it. That's totally fine as well. But it is convenient that there's a formal way for them to do that. And I want to point this out real quick. When you have a request that comes in, if somebody would like, they can upload plans and photos, colors, maybe contracts that they have in place with the actual contractor. You as a board can discuss a request that comes in and have an internal communication as you guys decide if you guys are going to approve the request, whether it's architectural or not. The other thing that's convenient is when it comes to requests, the owners themselves, if they're out on the community property and they see some maintenance that needs to be taken care of, whether it's a tree falling down or a light bulb that's out, it's really nice that they can put in a request and they can obviously submit that to you guys, the board, and then you guys can take care of the maintenance. So multiple things when it comes to requests. I'll touch here real quick on the difference between a unit and an owner tab. You can see here, if we pull up a specific unit, let's go ahead and pull up 126 Twin Oaks Drive. This is the unit that Don Little lives in. You can see here within the unit that you primarily focus on the address, what their current balance is. Of course, if it's a rental or not. This is convenient because there are associations that we serve that have many rentals inside their property, so you can indicate if it's a rental. In that case, you can also have contact information for the renter. Don and Mary Little might own the property down in Florida, but they live up in New York, and they have John Mangum that's there. You can also add contacts for emergency contacts. If Don and Mary Little have their granddaughter that wishes to be called in case anything ever happens to them, you have their contact information. Billing history, it's convenient. And then, of course, internal notes for the association property that you're looking at. Now, let's go ahead and jump over to the profile for the specific owner. In this case, Don Little, you can obviously see that he's uploaded a photo himself, or you can, as well as the board. You can communicate with him. We include a dedicated phone number, as I mentioned. It's a voice over internet phone that comes with the software where you guys can make a phone call to him by clicking here. It'll route through your personal cell phone, but he'll be receiving a phone call from the HOA number, not from your number. So as a board member, oftentimes we feel that we are using our own email, our own phone number to send out text messages and phone calls, but you don't have to do that anymore. You get to use the eHOA number that we provide for your community in order to communicate and track those conversations. You can also send a text message. Everything is tracked here for future reference. If you need to reflect back on a conversation that you had, you just go ahead and scroll down and you can see the things that you guys discussed. Same thing when it comes to the phone calls and email. So very convenient. I will point this out very quickly when it comes to communication by email. You can go ahead and compose an email, and you can decide, of course, if you've got a template already, or if you want to write something out to the community, your residents. Go ahead and type your email here and go ahead, complete the email. You can attach anything that you wish, and then when you're ready to decide who you're sending it to, you can send it, of course, to all owners, primary owners. You might have a board meeting coming up and you just simply want to send it to the board members. Of course, send it to everyone where they can respond, or you can CC, or most cases you want to BCC everyone and preview and hit send. So a really convenient way to get out messaging to the whole community very quickly with our communication tools that are included. I'm going to jump real quick to documents. We're going to come back to accounting because I want to talk about that as a feature that we offer as well. But this is where you would come and upload the documents. If you wish to add a folder, you simply name that folder, which is, say it's board meeting minutes. You can go ahead and decide if I want to share that with the owners and they can see that when they log in, or if I want to make it public. So if you want to share those documents, as I pointed out, over on the website, As I mentioned, where I live, we don't share any of our documents on their website. Majority of those we share with the owners. And there is a time and a place where we don't share with either, because as a board, we're still reviewing something before we decide to upload that and share it with the owners. So you can have folders that are simply for the board to view only as things are getting reviewed. It might be a financial document or something like that. We are built on the Google Cloud, so you can have as many folders as you wish. You can name them whatever you wish and store as many documents and files inside there. Really convenient place to have a history of your association, not only for when you're serving, but when you move off and someone else moves on. There's already a record of everything that they need to do as they now are serving on the board. Voting and survey I talked about earlier. This is where you would come to create a new vote or add a new voting or survey campaign. Templates are convenient. One of my favorite, I would say, and even our treasurer where I serve, is this automated dues invoice reminder. We have it set up at our association where I live that the dues invoice reminders go out 10 days prior to the first of each month. Everyone will receive an email and a text message letting them know that the dues are going to be coming up on the first of the month. And if you're on auto pay, it simply states that you're on auto pay. You don't have to send in a check. This is just a reminder. And then, of course, you do receive an email and a text message notification letting you know that your payment has been made. If for whatever reason someone's payment does fail, they also receive an email and a text. So really convenient. I do love that we have the late and lien rules that you can go in. You can add any rule that you wish and as many rules as you wish. I know it's convenient at my association where we have a past due notification that goes out to anyone that hasn't made their payment by the 5th. There's no fee associated, but it does remind everybody that's late that they do need to get that paid, because on the 15th, they will incur a $25 late fee if they haven't paid. And then, of course, 30 days later, another late fee will be incurred. So you guys, following your bylaws and your restrictions and covenants, can add those as you wish, and a really convenient way. Of course, the software even has the ability to send out a lien letter, a pre-lien letter. You get to decide when those go out, and of course, have a template in there. And so it can serve as your notification to the owners that haven't paid. So again, it's just convenient that the software takes care of that for you, rather than you being the bad person serving on the board or even as the property management company. You simply are doing what needs to be done to follow the bylaws there. Really convenient there. This is where you would come down here when it comes to the website. I wanted to point out our support team is amazing. You can always reach out to them for help and for guidelines on obviously changing photos of the association, adding new events. If you want to add any new news, this is where you would come and do that. So very convenient. Again, as I mentioned previously, never hesitate to reach out to our support team. We're here to help. A couple other things I'm going to point out I wanted to touch on lastly is our integrated payment processing for collecting dues is pretty awesome. Simply being able to collect those dues electronically at our association. I do know that we have about 98% of our homeowners now paying either by e-check, which is ACH, utilizing routing and account number from our bank accounts, or simply by debit or credit card. And it makes it nice for our treasurer. If you can do that, it's a great way to help streamline the day-to-day management for a volunteer treasurer, but also the owner can enjoy that as well. I pointed out earlier how you would collect, obviously, and manage and track any manual payments, but that payment processing feature is very, very simple and nice. Well, the last thing I wanted to point out is our accounting tools. This is something that's very, very convenient. This is the one feature that's an a la carte that you can add. You do not have to activate this, but it is convenient because what you can do is you can connect your bank account to the software itself by simply going here, connecting the bank account, deciding, obviously, go ahead and find your bank, and let's just say you guys are using Wells Fargo. When you connect your bank account, what happens is, I'm going to go back here and show you here. It's going to pull in automatically your transactions and what your bank status is in live time. So for example, if you want to obviously add any income or expenses and utilize this accounting tool just the same way you would with QuickBooks or Wave Accounting or any other software built for accounting tools, you can have that right within the software. Now, I will say we're not against any other accounting tools or methods. There are associations that utilize Excel spreadsheets or Google Sheets. They might use the QuickBooks method. we're totally fine with that. And hence the reason why we have this accounting feature off unless you decide to turn that on. But I just wanted to point out it's really convenient if you do have this turned on where you can go ahead, have your profit and loss for your income statement, have your general ledger, the balance sheet. But I do like the budget as well. This is a convenient tool, obviously, that you can have your budget for the year with your expenses and your income, and then obviously see your actuals year to date. Whenever you go to a board meeting, maybe it's an annual meeting with the owners and they want to see that, it's convenient. You can export that and obviously send that along, or you can go ahead and print that out for a meeting to hand around. But really convenient way to obviously track the accounting. Again, not something that you have to turn on if you're using other methods. Maybe you even have a CPA that's taking care of your bookkeeping and accounting. So that's something you can, or if you wish not to take part of, not a problem. Well, I hope you enjoyed our quick review. I know this is about a 20-minute overview of our software. We'd love to answer any other questions that you have, so please let me know. We didn't go into full depth on everything here, but I do know that our software is built to simply make your life easier, not only as a manager of the property or a volunteer board member, but for those that are owners there as well. Make things simple and straightforward when trying to access information. I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching.